Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Alright, so for today's video, I'll be showing you guys the best graphic settings for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. Really, I just use the same graphic settings for both of them, so yeah, that doesn't really change anything. But first things first, before we jump right into the settings, I kind of want to discuss and give you guys a quick, disclaimer that the game is just not that well optimized, and as much as we want to try to change the graphic settings, we just have to accept that there are so many issues that this game still has to address, from server latency to, hitches and drops in FPS and also crashing. Really, my main issue is crashing. As long as I hit like 120 FPS or above, 100, I'm chilling. But yeah, really the crashes, there's just not much I could do about it. And server latency, we're just gonna have to wait until they fix the servers, but really the crashing is just unbearable. But anyways, I'm gonna be talking about in-game graphic settings and also my Nvidia driver, which one I'm using right now, plus I'm gonna show you guys my control panel later on. So yeah, anyways, let's jump right into it. All right, so for the graphic settings, obviously you want to be in full screen exclusive. There's just no other thing that I would recommend unless you want to go for full screen borderless because you don't like tabbing out, but you're really gonna have less frames, plus you're gonna have a lot of latency, so I wouldn't recommend. Display monitor, your main monitor. Screen refresh rate, choose the maximum or the one that you want. Display resolution, obviously the one that you want and to match your monitor right now. Dynamic resolution off, don't use that at all. Aspect ratio, choose your current aspect ratio. VSync for menu and gameplay off, both off. You really don't need this. Custom frame rate limit. Now, if you have, let's say, like the best of the best graphics card and like you have like a 4090 or something, then just turn it to like unlimited. But my recommendation is to match your frame rate. So let's say you have a 240 hertz monitor, then go for 240. If not, then let's say you have like a 60 hertz monitor, then go for 60. But if you have a 60 hertz monitor on your PC, then I honestly don't know what you're doing. But as for me, I have 165. 165 is my max, so 165. Menu custom frame rate limit, I would just put it at 60. I know it kind of looks weird sometimes, but you really don't want your GPU to be working like crazy all the time, so 60. Autofocus custom frame rate limit 30. Like it's really not that important. Like when you're tabbing out or stuff like that, you don't want your game to be like running as smooth as possible, so just 30 is fine. Shader optimization, do this if you have issues with your shaders and stuff like that. Display gamma, default brightness up to you, focus off, and HDR off. Now to the interesting part, quality. In the quality tab, you want your render resolution to be 100. You want it to match exactly your resolution that you set at the beginning right here. Upscaling sharpening, I would either recommend using off or Fidelity FX cast, and I personally put it at 100. If you feel that it is too sharp, then reduce it, but I'd say between 50 to 100 is like the best. Anti-aliasing, most people would tell you to put SMAA to T2X, but I would recommend the Filmic one, as it just reduces those weird noise. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just really weird and bad. I'm a very big advocate for anti-aliasing and texture filter anisotropic in this game, so I would put it high for both. Now, video memory scale, you really have to test it out. Personally, at 85 at default, it is fine for me. A lot of people bump it to 90. I don't know, I feel like it just makes my game super unstable and I'm prone to more crashes, and my other applications are just not running as good. So 85 is fine. Give it some space, let it breathe a little. Texture resolution, now this, a lot of people will tell you that normal is completely fine, but I'd say the lowest the better, the lower the better. But the problem with setting this lower or at very low is that it just looks really not good. The game looks really bad. So I would recommend setting it at low, just because it has so much impact on your VRAM and on your CPU as well. Anyways, the game is not that CPU intensive, so, but still, I'd recommend low. Like I said earlier, texture filter anisotropic high. Everything else is going to be low. So nearby level of detail low, distant level of detail low, clear draw distance short, particle quality low, particle quality level very low, no bullet impact spray, so that's off, shader quality low, tessellation off. Terrain memory, this I would keep it at high or at max, just because it gives like how much memory that your thing is going to use to like render like the things at a distance. So I would set this at max. On-demand texture streaming, you don't need this. This is just going to cause so much like latency issues and just frame issues in general. It's going to take like, it's basically like downloading as you go, so you really don't want this. Volumetric quality low, deferred physics quality, I leave this at high. No way I crashed, no way. Alright, so you guys won't believe it, but I ended up crashing. The irony with just talking about the best PC settings for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. But anyways, I completely forgot where I left off, so I'll just continue here. Streaming quality normal, volumetric quality low, deferred physics quality high. I have issues with like water, so I'm just gonna leave it at high. Water caustics, I think I'm gonna turn this on, even though I would recommend it to leave it off, just because I'm having issues with like water and like, I don't know, some shimmering lights and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna turn it on and see how it goes. Shadow map resolution low. Everything here is going to be low except for spot cache, which is going to be high. This used to be a setting back in Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone 1. It used to be called, it used to be like a toggle. It used to be off, on and off, on or off, sorry. But now it is low, medium, high, and ultra. So I'll just leave it at high. I'm assuming that's kind of like the equivalent of turning it on. Particle lighting low, ambient occlusion off, screen space reflections off, static reflection quality low, weather grid volumes off. Now to the post-processing effects. If we talk about if you have an Nvidia graphics card, then this will be showing right here. This will depend, it basically shows you here, this will depend on if you are CPU bottlenecked or GPU bottlenecked, meaning that if your CPU is the one that is holding you back, then you would need to turn on plus boost. But if your GPU is the one that is being bottlenecked, which is quite rare, but it does happen. Plus in this game pretty much just uses 99% of your GPU. It's weird. It just sucks out so much juice from your GPU, which is my case as well. That is why I use on. But like I said earlier, if it is really your CPU that is just not as good as your GPU or not equivalent to your GPU, then I would recommend turning on plus boost. But right now, until they fix it, there's just this weird bug where like my GPU is just being sucked out completely. So I would recommend using on for now. Depth of field, the world motion blur and weapon motion blur all off. These are really just not going to give you a competitive advantage. Film grain down. And in terms of like the view, this is all personal preferences. I like 120 FOV, 90 for third person. Don't forget to turn on affected, narrow or wide default. This is all personal preferences. But yeah. All right, now for your Nvidia driver, I'm going to show you guys which one I'm using. But just before that, I will show you guys this recommendation from Activision themselves. So you go here for the PC section. This is all for a console. It's gonna say most crashes will occur, but there are things that you could check. Obviously, if your PC or your laptop is cool, if you have a compatible version of Windows 10, I'm currently in Windows 11, so that's kind of a problem, and I don't really want to go back. Shut down all your applications. Obviously, that's what I always do. I just try to run my game. That is pretty much all I run, and make sure your video driver is up to date. Now, if you click that, it'll tell you all of the recommended ones for here. So this is all for Modern Warfare 2019, Warzone 1, Cold War, Vanguard. Now this is for Modern Warfare 2. Click it. It's going to tell you that the recommended driver is 526.86, and same thing for Warzone 2. So as I was saying earlier, I'm currently using 526.86, their recommendation. So yeah, this is my current Nvidia driver, and I'll be showing you guys my Nvidia control panel. Here are my 3D settings. You guys could copy them, or just be inspired. Everything here is going to be either default or off, so this doesn't really matter, but I would personally leave anisotropic filtering to application controlled, and same thing for anti-aliasing. I told you guys earlier that I'm a very big advocate for these two settings when it comes to like Call of Duty. Usually I would turn them off, but really in Call of Duty I'm gonna put them at high, so I'm gonna let the application control it. And really the important things that you want is obviously monitor technology. If you're using G-Sync, then set it to G-Sync. If not, then fixed refresh is the way. Here in OpenGL rendering GPU, you want your GPU to be selected. Power management mode, you want it to be maximum performance. Your preferred refresh rate, you want it to be highest available. Texture filtering quality, you want it to be high performance. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys can see the rest, and if there's anything that you want to copy, then do so. And yeah, VSync off, and that is pretty much it. These are my settings for my control panel, so you guys could pause the video right here, and I'll just go up slowly. And yeah, so anyways, that'll be it for my best graphic settings for Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. Like I said, there's so many issues with this game. We're just gonna have to wait until they just update and patch a bunch of things. And yeah, it's just really frustrating how I always end up crashing. It's not even just in Warzone, it's also in multiplayer, and it's not even just in multiplayer, it's also in private matches, which is really sad. But yeah, I still love the game. Game is really good, and I'll see you guys in the next video.